today's a good day. Finally the Supercharger build and the tune is done. I wouldn't say it was like we're 100% happy with it, but just given the fact that we just had a very limited time and supply, especially when it comes to the Supercharger, pulley is a factor that you control the boost. So if you don't have the right size pulley, basically we can't target the boost, and the only way to do it is just basically changing them. So we went through pretty much 3 different pulleys, and this one we couldn't find the one that was gonna be the targeted boost that we're looking for. So this kit right here, what you're seeing in the front, so that's just a water cooler, and that's a pump. And these 2 units are actually from Mustang GT500. So these lines are all custom. Before Aaron puts back the bumper, he's gonna like kind of align it again, all the hoses. But how it works is, as soon as the car starts up, basically pump will circulate the water. At one point we try to like bleed the system, and we just came up with the idea and made a little reservoir right there. So that was all custom. So when it returns back to reservoir, it's always filled up and basically goes right back in the system. So it always has a fill up in here. Once it starts pushing, whatever's left on above will just gravity feed and basically stuck in the reservoir system. And while we're doing the pull, like we only saw like a couple degrees increase, and just because also it's shooting meth, so it's cooling down the temperature of your intake manifold. So our dyno fans only could do so much. So if this car is on the road, actually driving facing the air, will just cool down the whole time. And that's the whole point of having all this cooler in the front. We checked the temperature going in here, wasn't really hot because obviously it doesn't have a heat soak effect as much because you don't have the long pipe. Just gonna be over time gets like all hidden up, and it's also long, so the air travel, even the compressor air travels and loses the pressure. So let's say the Charger was making 10 pounds, and after the intercooler and going back around, it will end up being like 7 pounds. So just having the same pulley and shorten the piping, it was adding another 5 to 6 pounds. But now that we only have this pulley to play with right now, because the other belt or the pulley didn't work, the other pulley that we have was only making 5 pounds or less. So that was nowhere near like what we're projected. So we had no choice but going with this pulley and same belt. But either way, we saw the improvement, and once the customer comes back with the built motor, we're gonna probably shoot for 12, 13 pounds, whatever the pulley can make. Honestly, last few weeks I've been stressed out because not only this car, but I have other things going on. But I already saw it was getting a little delayed, and there was a lot of like not getting the right parts, and something that we had no control over was kind of killing us. And everything worked out great. Honestly, I had some doubts on the intake manifold because I did at least 3 passes on each tank just to be rock solid. And since we're actually adding meth kit, sometimes it freezes and temperature changes too much that you can actually crack. But we didn't see any signs of it, and there was no boost leak at all. Nothing popped off or anything, so we're very, very happy with it. The Rotrick Supercharger, the peak torque is at the top, and it's just going to be linear curve for the boost. So low end you will not have it, but linear, it's very like evenly distributed, and you'll have like linear power all throughout the RPM. And as you've seen, like it doesn't make so much a noise like Roots type. So once again, it could be an advantage or disadvantage, because I did have a Roots type Supercharger in my tip run before, and that was annoying. So I mean, annoying over time. You know, it was cool for a bit, and it was just annoying. So anyhow, we're very happy that this project is done, and it's ready to be handed over once we put the bumper back on, do a quick wash, and Aaron's gonna drive down to Virginia. He's catching up a train tomorrow, and he has to go with the car because they can't just put the car on there, apparently. So he has to train down to Orlando and drive to some location, meet up with the customer, hand the car over, and he's gonna fly back, and I gotta go pick him up. So. It went up like only 2 degrees. As soon as it cools down, when it faces the air, it's just gonna be way more efficient. I mean, fan could only do so much. But
same number.
Same number. Consistency is the key.
The car is so smooth, and it feels like it just wants to go. So just to drive normal, you barely have to tap the gas. So this guy is really going to have a hard time getting used to that, and probably get some tickets in the process.
But you said something about turbo. Is it better than turbo?
I honestly like the Supercharger better than the turbo.
Really?
Yeah, the turbo is much more louder. But it's like, when like that rough feeling when it actually goes into boost.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Supercharger doesn't have that. It doesn't have that thump. It just pulls. Like
It's linear. It's way linear and predictable. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the only thing, like, it really sucks to, like, with the 5,000 RPM.
Yeah. 5,000 sucks. Yeah.
Like, it goes to 5,000 so quick. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, the lower gears, you gotta be kind of watch out. Yeah.
No, yeah, of course. I'm gonna explain everything to him.
Yeah.
5, 88. I mean, it's 82 degrees outside, and then we got to take into consideration this is the exit that's 80. So going in is actually probably cooler.
Yeah, sure. Right after the cooler, it should be cooler. Yes, for sure.